We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's saying that the available cap is only 12 mil. There you go. It's up to 36 mil, all right? So we have 36 mil available cap. There'll be no problem re-signing these guys. Let's get them under contract and go forward from here. We have at least 1 year left here, right? So this is definitely Alexander Ovechkin's retirement contract, all right? Absolutely, 31 years old. This is where he gets his big money. And especially coming off that pretty good season, all right? We've figured out what we need to do. And it's actually not that bad. I was expecting, that's actually pretty good for Ovechkin. You know why? Because he was already making 9.5. I think I could get him for 5 years. That makes sense. Hang on, can I lower it? Oh, I can even lower it. Yeah, son. All right, we'll get him for 7 years. 6 years. Yeah, 6 years because then he'll be 37. Yeah, 7 years, he'll be 38. He may have gotten worse by then. So let's go 6 years. It's his retirement contract. All right, remember what he was making before? 9.5. I think now I can do 9 mil. All right, so hang on. Yeah, I think I could go down to 9 mil here. Let me just think. Yeah, I could definitely go. I could probably even go down further. You know what? I'll just go. Let me just try it. Let me try it out. 8.75. Hang on. Let me just think. Yeah, I can go 8.75 for 6 years, right, for Ovechkin. That would be a pretty good contract for him, all right? I mean, I was expecting 10 and a half I'd have to sign him for, and I was willing to do it, but 8.75 for Ovechkin, it's a lot of money, but that's kind of a steal. It really is. I was expecting a lot more because he does have more of than just a sniper category. I mean, again, look at his individual stats. He can do it all. He really can. Just keep him off the penalty kill, and we already have penalty killers now. So, I mean, you can't argue with his points. He does get points, all right? 70 seasons everywhere, and that's playing with Backstrom and Datsuk. And you put him with another winger who can score goals, and he's a point-a-game player, all right? And I know he hasn't really shown... He showed up in the playoffs this year. You guys can't say he didn't. 8 points in 7 games. Last year he didn't, but the cup run where we actually won the cup, he had 28 points in 22 games. So, and he's the heart and soul of Washington. You know, if we can afford him, I definitely want to keep Alexander the Great. All right, the grade 8. So I gave him the contract. Erik Johnson. So I'm expecting 5.5, 6 mil. Yeah, so 5.8. So it's what I was basically expecting out of this guy. I can give him 8 years at 5.6. 8 years, he'll be 37. That's the same thing. Yeah, he'd be worth it. 8 years. Yeah, he'd be worth it because he's not getting any worse. He's getting top 4 time for us. Then no one's going to take his place. Yeah, and he'll be 37. He can retire at 37 years old. He'll still be that good. So, 5 mil. Yeah, that's about what I wanted for Erik Johnson. 8 years at 5 mil for Erik Johnson. Get him long term. Give him his contract as well. Same thing with Ovechkin. Hartikainen, right. This guy should get a big contract as well. No, I'm not going to give him long term. I want to just, the lowest amount. Okay, it can be 4 years. Yeah, 4 years at, what can this guy get? Let me try and get him for 5. I'll renegotiate with this guy. Let's see if I can move his price down just a tad, all right? Give him 5 mil as well. I don't mind going up because he is worth it. He's a great grinder. I don't mind giving him a little bit more than he wants, or than the other players. Grossman, Babchuk. I'll come back to these guys. Scheifele's Zibanejad. All right, all these other guys. I got to re-sign these guys, yeah. Thrower got to re-sign. All right, sign you to a minor league contract. There you go. Next is Sutter. Yeah, all these young guns, I'm going to re-sign them right now. All to 3-year deals. Okay, this is none of them are going to be super studs, but this is what you bring up to fill in your depth positions. I've seen 3.5-star players be able to play on the second line if they fully progress, right? So if we have a bunch of 3.5-star players, we're going to be able to fill up that 4th, 3rd, trading assets. This is what's great about these guys. And they're that age, 23 years old, you sign them to one more minor league contract. They get better for another year or two, and then in their last year of this contract, then you trade them, or you use them when they're 25, 26 years old. All right? They're slow progressors, but that's okay. I mean, 25 is not too old to be having your rookie season. I mean, you can still have at least 10 years in you, right? Not everyone comes in as ready to play when they're 20. Not everyone's Sidney Crosby. He came in when he was 18. What am I talking about? Corvo. Get this guy back. Got to re-sign all these goofs. All right, get you. Samuelson, yeah, you're coming back as well. This is what I'm talking about. We do have, again, we don't have super stud prospects. We have Josh Morrissey and Lalonde and Thrower. Basically, our 2 forward prospects, and Thrower's our defensive prospect. I know Morrissey's a defenseman, but I'm not using him on the point. He is a forward for us, all right? He is going to be Ovechkin and Backstrom's. That line is going to stay together, man, for sure. Negotiate with this guy. We'll give him same thing. Why not just load up our team with these players? Okay, Moro. I can release this guy. 2.5 stars. Go down here. All right. Jesus, a lot of players. You know what? Let me just. There you go. Let me just skip a day. We can come back to it. Whitney, I want to re-sign this goalie. There you go. Perfect. And Erickson, don't need you. Release this guy. Yep. Whitney, we already got. All right, good. So let's simulate up a day. Let's see if Ovechkin would sign for 8.75. That would be awesome if we can get Ovechkin. I imagine I can get him. I would be fine with giving him 9.5 again, the same contract. So if I can get him for anything less than that, that'd be awesome. So Erik Johnson's back for 8 years at $5 million. All right, perfect. We obviously wouldn't keep him for the whole 8 years. You know, trade him around 34, 35 years old. But that's good. We got him locked up. Yeah, Teemu Hartikainen, he didn't want that. All right. Ovechkin, all right. So Ovechkin, he didn't want that low of a contract. So I'm thinking more around 9 million. Markhan, Tuani, all right. This guy, all these guys re-signed. Yep. Okay, so we got to go back to Ovechkin and Hartikainen, or I can't pronounce it, man. Jesus. Whatever, man. Ovechkin. All right, so give him the same thing again. Oh, he wants even less this time. That's even better. All right, so, and he wants 7 years. Oh, my God, I give him 8 years at 9 point. He would be, 39 years old. I'm hoping he would retire by then. You know what? Let's just do it so I can offer him like a really low contract. Why not? Because you can trade him in his last few years. You know what I mean? Before he starts to get less. 8 years, and it can be the same as Erik Johnson. 8 years, that's, what can I do? 9 mil, which would work. Yeah, I can go down to 8.75 again. Yeah, because that's even asking price. Let me go at 8.85, all right? We'll raise it just a little bit because he's asking for less, and I'll just raise it by 100,000, okay? So there you go, Alexander the Great. Where is it? Alexander, yep. Babchuk. I'm not going to re-sign these guys. We'll check out free agency. We'll have enough money that we can re-sign them in free agency, okay? Hartikainen, same thing. Yeah, he wants the same deals, basically. So I'll give him 3 years at 5.35, okay? There you go. You're worth it. You're worth it. I'll give it to you. Grossman, we're going to release you. All right, Travis Moen, we're going to release you. And Mike Ribeiro, I wouldn't mind re-signing Ribeiro if he wants 3 mil now. Jeez. Hang on, let me see one more day. Let's see how much money we're going to have going into free agency before I make any, because 3 mil, it's not a lot, but it still is something that I could spend on another player. I mean, I know Ribeiro had a pretty good year. I'd like to keep that second line together, but I think Louis Eriksson's going to be traded, and we got it. Like, Ribeiro didn't show up in the playoffs, so we do have to figure something else out. So Teemu's back for, 5.35, so that's great. And Alexander the Great's back for 8.85, okay? So there you go. Pretty good, man. We've got those guys re-signed for decent contracts. Look at that. So now, yeah, Backstrom still has another 4 years left in him. Gardner and Johnson another. So you got your main guys, Ovechkin, Backstrom, Gardner, and Johnson signed for at least another 4 years. Morrissey's contract is coming up next year, so you have to think about that, but still. All right, and Ribeiro, we have 18 mil. If I sign him, I'll have 15. You know what? I'm going to release him to free agency, and if we want to re-sign him in free agency, we can, okay? But I'll release him right. Well, hang on. How much did he want now? Is it still 3 mil? Yeah, it's still 3 mil. No, I don't want to give him like 2 and a... No. I'll save the 18 right now because we need to figure out what we're going to do in free agency with trades and all that good stuff, okay? So, release Mike Ribeiro. There you go. Thank you for your time. Not saying that he won't be re-signed, but we need to just rethink what we're doing here in Washington because I don't care about President's Trophies. I don't like those first-round exits, so we got to change something. So, we've gotten everyone re-signed. I know this video is kind of going long. Might have to turn it into 2. But let's just get up to free agency, take a look who's available, take a look at what players we have on our team right now, and see what players we can trade, all that good stuff. You guys can go nuts. I like having Ovechkin still. I don't want to trade Alexander Ovechkin, all right? He's on a very good contract right now for Alexander Ovechkin. I thought, again, that he'd be getting at least 10, 10.5, maybe even 11 mil. I've seen players ask for 12, 12.5 before, so... and being 93 overall at 31 years old, you know, that's usually the time where they really do ask for a lot of money, but we got lucky with Alexander Ovechkin, okay? So, who's available in free agency here? You got Anisimov, Dustin Brown. That might not be a bad guy to have on the third line just for a 1-year type of player, right? Matt Green, same thing, another defenseman that we can help. Mike Ribeiro is there. Zach Dalp, all right. Brad Marchand, maybe another perfect third liner. All right, so instead of having Scheifele and Carlson, maybe you could have Carlson, Marchand, and Dustin Brown now on the third line. You know, really boost that third line, get it a little bit grittier. You know, with some what's it called? With some veteran leadership and experience. A lot of good third and fourth liners here. Tangradi, Steve Downey, Jared Stoll, all right? So there's actually a lot of good depth players on this free agency. No super studs, but we don't need super studs. We do need depth players, depth forwards especially. So Anisimov, I'm looking at Dustin Brown, Matt Green, sorry. Zach Dalp, maybe. How good is this guy? Who is he? He's a playmaker. No. He'd be a first or second liner. Doesn't fit in on our team. I'm looking at Dustin Brown, Matt Green, Brad Marchand, and Mark Stewart. All right, I know we could get Mark Stewart back for our team. Some pretty good third liners there, right? So take a look at those guys, and we have $18 million to spend here, so we can afford like 4 of them, all right? No problem. Maybe not 4, maybe 3. Goalies, all right, we don't really need any goalies. Prospects, no prospect goalies. And any prospect skaters, no prospect skaters, all right? So you saw free agency, a lot of good key role players there, so that really can help our team this year, okay? We don't need to, we can still be a competitive team this year, absolutely. I'm not saying that we're not going to be. But I don't, again, we can win the President's Trophy, we can have a great regular season with Louis Eriksson and Mike Ribeiro, right? But again, 2 years in a row not winning that, or getting kicked out in the first round, something needs to be changed. So goalie, it's going to be Klein and Dansk. Defenseman, it's going to be Carlson Gardner, Alsner, Johnson, and then we need 2 defenders, okay? Free agency for 2 defenders. We're not using thrower yet. So 2 defenders from free agency, boys. Help me out with that. And forwards, we got Ovechkin, Backstrom, and Morrissey, the first line. Eriksson, Hartikainen, and Lalonde the second line, but Eriksson could be traded, all right? But Hartikainen and Lalonde on the second line, so maybe we need a center between those guys. Carlson, Scheifele, Zibanejad. I don't know about Scheifele and Zibanejad anymore, right? And Nordstrom, Sutter. Okay, so we really only have 1, 2, Morrissey, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 forwards that I know I want on my roster going into the season, all right? Eriksson, I might still want to keep him, but I know the only players on forward that I want are Ovechkin, Backstrom, Morrissey, Hartikainen, and Lalonde, and Carlson, all right? Other than that, free agency can fill the rest. So 6 forwards, we need 6 more, all right, boys? So yeah, this is going to be a two video recording because it's gone 27 minutes, Jesus, all right? But we're going to end it here. In the next video, we will go into free agency, but what can we do? I still think we can be a very competitive team this year, all right? We already can score some goals, but now we can fill up that fourth and third line a lot better than we had last year, absolutely, all right? So help me out, and in the next video, we will sign those free agents. See you next time, boys.